What's up, SnEaKyNation? SnEaKy P here, back with all the news after week number 2 in our San Francisco 49ers franchise, where the 49ers picked up their first win of the season over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's check out some highlights here. Dimitri Todman with the reception. He would take it down to set up this field goal, but Joel Edison would be wide right on the long attempt. The rookie kicker unable to make it happen. His first miss of his NFL career. Then TJ Yeldon and the Jags would take over with good field position, and here he is breaking some tackles down to the 30-yard line. Then on second down and 2, this is for the end zone, and DeMarcus Avery, the 5th round selection out of Houston, would get the interception and get the 49ers the ball back. Kirkland Marion would have a nice run here. The 49ers, though, would have to punt the ball away as the Jags take back over. Little play action. Bortles on the right side, finding Julius Thomas, and he is off to the races, finally taken down by Jimmy Ward at the 29-yard line. That would set up this play action, and once again they are going to the end zone, but this time Jimmy Ward would get flagged for defensive pass interference. That would set up this Darrell Cleveland touchdown run, and the rookie would put the Jags up 7-0 early on. 49ers trying to get back into this game. Todman with another catch, but once again 49ers going to have to punt the ball away. Jags trying to add to their lead here, and Julius Thomas, another huge play to the 47-yard line of Niner territory. Then on third down and 5, Armstead with the sack. To Marcus Avery would pick up the ball in stride, and nobody would catch him. Under a minute to go before halftime, and we have a tie ball game, 7-7, and that is where the score would be at halftime, as the Jags take over early on in the third quarter here. 3rd and 9, and Kadarius Folston coming back for the ball. The rookie wide receiver, well over 100 yards on the day for the Jags. And on 4th and 18, they would kick a field goal through the uprights, and Santos would put them on top 10-7 over the 49ers. 49ers trying to get back into the game, though, and this is Kirkland Marion down the right side of the field to the 42-yard line, and that would set up this 54-yarder by the 49ers rookie kicker Joel Edison. He missed the first one wide right, but it's nice to see our young kicker come in and make a play. And then Willie Snead, for 66 yards, would have his first touchdown in a San Francisco 49ers uniform. That would put them on top 17-10 over the Jags, and they would not look back from there. Nortman trying to punt the ball away, but Jimmy Ward is there for the block, and Jaquiski Tart is there for the recovery. That would set the 49ers up at the 17-yard line, looking for Todman, and Jalen Ramsey flagged for pass interference this time. That would put the 49ers on the 1-yard line, and that would set up this Olawale touchdown, his first as well for the 49ers. So a few of our free agent signings getting involved here, as you see Santos knock another field goal through the uprights there. So an 11-point game, 13-24. The Jags do have some time to work with, and they have the ball back, and Julius Thomas again with a big reception, setting up another Santos field goal. So it is an 8-point game all of a sudden. The 49ers would punt the ball away. The Jags could get back in this, but on 3rd and 18, Seantrell Wilkerson, the number 15 overall pick in the draft, will get his second interception in as many games, and that would do it. They would hand it off to Kirkland Marion for his first career NFL touchdown. The 49ers would win this one 31-16 over the Jags to improve to 1-1 on the season. Next up, the 49ers taking on the 2-0 Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals finished 5-11 last season, but towards the end of the year, they really started to get their act together. This is very much a team that can still compete for a Super Bowl. They added a very high draft pick as well, and they're a team to look out for, as Lissamore here in practice with the reception. Now Kaepernick looking to throw on the left side. Lissamore holding onto the ball in traffic there. Kaepernick again down the right side. Selleck this time with the catch. One more time, all these play actions, and Chris Owusu making the grab this time. One more, and the 49ers can get gold, and Lissamore will deliver. So the 49ers offense will get the gold on the day in practice, which is perfect, because the 49ers need to step up and make plays against this very good Arizona Cardinals team. Now it is up to the defense to see what they can do, and Aaron Lynch would get the interception to start the day off right for the defense there on 1st and 10. Pressure coming. That is Quentin Dial getting the sack on Kaepernick. 2nd down and 14. Cap looking to throw on the left side, and Marion has to come back for the ball. He is dragged down by Lynch there. That'll bring up a 3rd and 13. Kaepernick looking for the end zone here, and Willie Snead unable to hold onto the ball. Jimmy Ward would jar it loose, and then Aaron Lynch again, his second interception of the practice there. That would bring us to the third attempt for the offense. Lissamore with the catch, taken down by Chantrell Wilkerson on second down and 5 over the middle. Chris Owusu has the first down, so it is now a first and goal situation from the 7, and Lissamore taken down by Wilkerson again. Second down and goal to the end zone, and Chris Owusu would have the touchdown for the offense there. So the defense would walk away with the silver. Not what we wanted, but it could certainly be worse as well. Aaron Lynch getting 2 interceptions, certainly a good thing to see for us. As we go into some of our press questions, Stephen Strange, with the breakout of Kirkland Marion, will you start to explore trades for Carlos Hyde? Carlos Hyde's a player we really want on this team. However, his contract is up at the end of the season. We are certainly looking to extend him, but depending on what he is looking for, we might be forced to trade him away. We'll just kind of have to see what happens there. And then Coach Mom, if your defense and running game continue to improve, will you focus more on a ground and pound style, or are you going to continue to try to throw it? This season, we certainly would like to be a ground and pound team. Our defense has really impressed me through 2 games. They do still have a few things we need to work out. We gave up a whole lot of passing yards in both games, but they are also forcing more turnovers than they did last season, and that's one thing we definitely wanted to improve in the offseason. Running the ball, it's looking better this season as well. Obviously, Kirkland Marion's much more explosive than Carlos Hyde, but we still like having Carlos Hyde there for those short yardage situations as well, so we're very lucky to have both. As far as passing the ball goes, we do want to be able to do both. We don't want to be limited to just a ground and pound attack, but we certainly would like to implement that as well. We want to be very conservative with our throws in the meantime, but we do have Dimitri Todman there as well. We have a lot of faith in the player that he can become, and we don't want to ignore him really. We want to aid him in his development to help him improve as a player, which in turn would help our offense improve. So I would say it's a little bit of both, but right now we're certainly happy with what we've been seeing from both the offense and the defense. That is going to be it for the questions. Let's go ahead and check out the scores from around the NFL. The Redskins going to take down the Chiefs with a 35-13 victory. The Redskins improved to 1-1 on the season. The Chiefs fall to 0-2. The Chiefs did finish 9-7 last year. Off to a slow start right now. Kirk Cousins, another solid outing. 256 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And Denton Ritchie still not getting any time. It looks like Alex Smith also went down with an injury in this game. Charles Sims with a good game, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns for him there. Receiving the ball to Sean Jackson. 7 catches, 97 yards, and a touchdown for him. The Redskins finished 7-9 last year, currently sitting at 1-1. Trying to build on this win here. Tom Ali would lead the way with 10 tackles there, interceptions. Howard Bailey and Baker are going to make the plays. I'm sorry, that was sacks. Butler and Fuller would have the interceptions. Butler, though, had 2 of them. And then fumbles forced, we are going to have 3. Derek Johnson would force 1. Houston and Poe would recover. 37-34. The Falcons would get the victory over the Patriots. The Falcons improved to 1-1. The Patriots fall to 0-2. And another solid game here by James Vallejo. 275 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions on the day. That's 5 touchdowns to 3 interceptions on the season. He did turn the ball over a lot in the first game, but definitely showing the ability to sling the ball down the field and get some points on the board for this Patriots team. Obviously, he has got some pretty big shoes to fill. It's not going to happen immediately, but definitely showing promise early on in his career. So Patriots, though, they are 0-2 right now after finishing 10-5-1 last year. The Falcons 1-1 after finishing 10-6. 1 interception by Hightower on the day. Fumbles forced by Claiborne. It would not be recovered. 38-24. The Jets with the victory over the Broncos in this one. And Case Keenum going to throw the 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Another rookie here, Zach Lindsey, 343 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions for the rookie for the Broncos. And Paxton Lynch still not getting any time here. The Jets 1-1. The Broncos also now 1-1. The Jets finished 8-8 last season. The Broncos 5-11. Looking to turn things around with their new quarterback. Kadu had a touchdown as well on his 2 catches. Defensively, Von Miller 3 sacks and 14 tackles on the day for him. A monster outing there. It was not enough for the win. There's Lenny Diggs, another rookie there, getting a sack for the Denver Broncos. Interceptions, we are going to have 2, one by Pryor, 1 by Revis. And then fumbles forced. Let's see what we got over here. 1 fumble forced by Richardson. It would not be recovered. 34-31. The Browns get the victory over the Colts here. Browns improved to 1-1 on the season. And look at Houston Church. 264 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions on the day. Andrew Luck out with an injury here. That is a big blow. However, last year they were doing okay without Andrew Luck, but it does not seem to be working for him at all this season. They did have Scott Tolzien last year, but look at Torrey Smith, who was traded to the Colts by the 49ers. 9 catches, 137 yards for his new team. If they get Andrew Luck back, that number might increase. I don't know. That's a pretty outstanding game by Torrey Smith either way, but the Colts got to be happy with that trade right now. So the Browns are at 1-1 on the year. The Colts are at 0-2. The Browns finished 9-6-1 last season. Definitely playing better than most anticipated. The Colts finished 8-8, but they are starting off pretty slow here this season. Joe Hayden with 2 interceptions. Jackson forcing and recovering a fumble. 35-10. The Steelers with the victory over the Vikings, and both of these teams very good last year. Roethlisberger, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception for him. Bridgewater also threw a touchdown. Over 100 yards for Le'Veon Bell. No touchdowns for him, though. The Steelers are at 2-0 now. The Vikings at 1-1. The Steelers finished 9-7 last year. The Vikings at 11-5. And look at Antonio Brown. Parker Fenner as well. 9 catches, 90 yards for him, but those 3 touchdowns for Antonio Brown definitely helping the Steelers out. Bryant would get one there as well as Nix. Defensively, Kendricks would lead the way in tackles. 3 sacks by Griffin, 2 by Hayward there. A few other players going to contribute as well. Interceptions, 1 by Sendejo. And then fumbles forced, we are going to have 3 forced, none would be recovered. 13-9, the Texans with the victory over the Tennessee Titans. The Texans now at 2-0 on the year. The Titans fall to 1-1. Texans finished 5-11 last year, but are off to a good start. The Titans finished 7-9. Both defenses really stepping up in this game. Neither offense doing a whole lot. DeMarco Bullitt here, the rookie out of LSU, with 3 catches for 57 yards. Defensively, McCourty would lead the way in tackles in this one. Sacks, 3.5 by Derek Morgan, 2.5 by J.J. Watt. Casey with a sack and a half as well there, and a whole bunch of players going to get in on another sack. Interceptions, Cockrell and Hyde going to make the plays for the defenses there. Fumbles forced, we have none on the day. 31-24, the Ravens with the victory over the Bengals. The Ravens, after finishing 3-13 last season, are now 1-1. The Bengals finished 9-6-1, but went on to win the Super Bowl. However, they are starting off this season 0-2, and if they don't turn things around quickly, they are going to have a difficult time getting into the playoffs to defend their title. But not the start they wanted at all, especially losing to a team that went 3-13 last year. Of course, the Ravens are a team trying to make some moves and improve this team as they move forward. Dumerville and Dunlap each going to have 2 sacks on the day. Interceptions, Lewis is going to have the only pick of the day. Fumbles forced, we are going to have none happening there. 28-24, the Bucks with the victory over the Chicago Bears. The Bucks improved to 2-0 on the season. The Bears fall to 1-1. The Bucks were 7-9 last year. The Bears at 3-13. And they are unable to get the win here today, but already did get a win in week 1. There's Bridges, a rookie. Didn't do a whole lot, though. Jared Cook, 10 catches, 128 yards for his new team, and they are certainly liking him as a weapon next to Alshon Jeffrey there. Defensively, Quan Alexander would lead the way with 15 tackles on the day. 4 sacks by Robert Ayers Jr., and look at this, Corey Orr with 2 sacks, the rookie out of Louisville, a guy that the 49ers scouted quite a lot, and he is making plays early on in his career. There's DeMarcus Dobbs as well for the Buccaneers. Interceptions, 3 interceptions by Kyle Fuller. You would think after the first 2 they'd stop throwing his way, but they didn't, and he kept making a pay. 2 fumbles forced by Robert Ayers Jr. He would recover 2 as well. Gillette doing the same with 1. 34-20, the Eagles would get the victory over the San Diego Chargers here. So the Eagles up to 2-0 on the year. The Chargers fall to 1-1. The Eagles finished 4-12 last year, so already halfway to their win mark of last season. The Chargers, on the other hand, finished 14-2, and they are picking up an early loss in the season here against what looks to be maybe a very improved Eagles team. Sacks, we are going to have 1 by Lugit Ingram and Curry here. Interceptions, Jenkins and Carroll would have the plays there for the Eagles defense stepping up. Fumbles forced, and nothing happening there. 28-7, the Cardinals with a victory over the Seahawks. The Cardinals improved to 2-0, and the Seahawks fall to 0-2 on the season. The Cardinals went 5-11 last year, off to a hot start this season. They did end last year doing very well. And look at Morris Presley, a rookie out of Michigan State, with 2 touchdowns there. And the 49ers are playing the Cardinals in week 3, so it's important to pay attention to this one. The Seahawks going 0-2. They finished 9-7 last year, so not off to the start they would have liked either. But this is definitely a defensive battle in this one, which is what you expect between these teams. There is Philip Muhammad, 1 catch, 9 yards for him, another guy the 49ers were targeting. And then Darius Chekwa, a rookie out of Clemson, going to get a sack here today. Campbell would get one for the Cardinals defense as well. Interceptions, Maxwell, Reeser, and Sherman going to make the plays there. Fumbles forced. Let's see what we got going on here. And 1 fumble by Jefferson. It would not be recovered. 35-21, the Raiders with the victory over the Cowboys. So the Raiders improved to 2-0. The Cowboys falling to 1-1 on the season. It looks like Dak Prescott back into the game for Tony Romo. I wonder if he went down with another injury. The Raiders went 7-9 last year. The Cowboys at 10-6. And look at Washington getting 2 touchdowns there. Murray and Elliott would each get a touchdown as well. Receiving the ball, Luke Wilson, 6 catches. Lucky Whitehead, 5 catches, 110 yards, and a touchdown for him. Robert Woods with the Raiders here getting a touchdown on 55 yards, and Latavius Murray would have one as well. Defensively, McClain would lead the way in tackles with 14. 4 sacks by Khalil Mack, the sack attack, making it happen there. And the Raiders defense just getting a lot of pressure on the Cowboys there. Irvin would get an interception. Fumbles forced. We are going to have none in this game here. 38-30, the Giants with the victory over the Rams. The Giants improved to 1-1. The Rams fall to 1-1 on the year. Jared Goff struggling a bit, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Eli Manning, a great game by him, though. The Giants went 9-6-1 last year. The Rams at 8-8. Todd Gurley, 95 yards and a touchdown for him. Jennings, only 60 yards, 2.7 yards a carry, but he did get 2 touchdowns on the day, receiving. Tavon Austin with 7 catches for 44 yards. And then the new offseason pickup, Bennett. They also have Aiken there as well, each getting touchdowns. So new contributors making a point early on for the Rams offense. Kennard would lead the way with 14 tackles, sacks, 1 by Brockers, 1 by Hankins. A few players going to split one as well. Interceptions, 1 by Kennard, 1 by Dominic Rogers-Cromartie. Then fumbles forced, we are going to have 1 by Lofton, 1 by Jason Pierre-Paul. That one would be recovered. 21-17, the Lions with a victory over the Packers. The Lions improved to 1-1. The Packers fall to 1-1. Lions went 12-4 last year. Packers 10-6. This was the best division in football. So these early season battles are definitely going to be important with how this plays out. Well, look at Earl Anthony, a rookie out of Miami. 6 catches, 87 yards, and a touchdown for him. Randall Cobb, though, really had the best game receiving by far. He didn't get a touchdown, but getting 150 yards is impressive. Gratz here with the Lions would lead the way in tackles. Mike Daniels with 2 sacks on the day. A few other players going to split off some sacks here as well. Interceptions, we have 1 by Darius Slay Jr., who led the NFL in interceptions last season, getting off to a good start here as well. No fumbles in the game. 35-35, we have a tie between the Panthers and the Saints. The Panthers 0-1-1. Now the Saints 1-0-1. Drew Brees, 315 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions for him. Cam Newton, 222 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Cameron Payne, Hill, Newton, and actually just Newton, they would all run for a touchdown on the day. Tolbert getting some carries in, no touchdowns though. Olsen, 9 catches, 82 yards. Brandon Cooks, 8 catches, 132 yards, and 2 touchdowns for him. Monster game. Not a whole lot of yards receiving there for Benjamin. He did get a touchdown though. Defensively, Pazlesny going to lead the way in tackles here, and Kruger and Ely each getting a sack and a half. Jordan and Short would each get a sack as well. Interceptions. O'Neal McLaughlin, the rookie out of Wisconsin, 6'3", would get a half a sack. And that's Briu with the interception on the day. Fumbles forced, Short would force and recover one. Butler would force one. It would not be recovered. 21-13, the Dolphins would get the victory over the Bears. The Bears? The Bills. I don't know what I'm saying. The Dolphins improved to 1-1 on the season. The Bears fall to 1-1. But look at Tyrod Taylor, 162 yards, no touchdowns, 6 interceptions on the day for Tyrod Taylor. You just cannot afford that in the NFL. And the Dolphins don't have a whole lot of great playmakers in the secondary necessarily. They got a few guys there, but to get 6 interceptions was certainly not expected. The Dolphins went 4-12 last year. The Bills went 10-8. 7-6, but not getting good play from Tyrod Taylor early on this season with a game like that. Defensively, DeMarco Pema, the number 2 overall pick in the NFL draft, leading the way with 12 tackles on the day. Definitely a player to keep an eye on as this series progresses. Sue and Bynes would each get a sack, and then here are the interceptions. Abdul Kudos with 2, Alonzo Graham, Cox, Howard, and Jones all getting interceptions on the day as well. And then fumbles forced, we are going to have 3 on the day. Let's check out the players of the week. Drew Brees, 26 of 33, 315 yards, 4 touchdowns for him. Robert Ayers Jr., 5 tackles, 4 sacks, 2 fumbles forced, and 2 fumbles recovered. Von Miller, 14 tackles, 3 sacks, and then Roethlisberger, 26 of 38, 289 yards, 5 touchdowns for him. We are getting into some scouting now, and we are looking at quarterbacks first and foremost. But first, let's check out some stories here. We already looked at Enrique Milburn, but Nick Warfield is a Pittsburgh transfer who's one of the best college players out of Europe, so that's a guy to keep an eye on. He is a running back, and we will scout him. We don't really need a running back, but I do want to follow the draft stories. But here is Bruce Allred, projected to go early in the first round out of Ohio State. Definitely a good-looking quarterback, 6'5", only 22 years old. Then we have Kirkland Keaton, 6'5", out of Oklahoma, also 22, also projected to go early on in the first round. Then we have a mid-first round talent, so this might be somebody we could target. Philip Rollins, 6'5", 23, out of Auburn. Great throw power here, and decent short throw accuracy. We don't know what his other stats there. And then Antoine Street, only 6'1", 22 out of Alabama, but he's a mobile quarterback, and he has good throwing accuracy for the middle of the field there, and that is definitely a guy worth keeping an eye on. If he has some speed, we might have to check him out. Then we got Enrique Milburn. We looked at his draft story, projected to go early in the first round. Definitely looking like a very good player there. Then Nick Warfield, we just checked out his draft story, the European player out of Pittsburgh, but I'm not really seeing the stats that make me think he is worthy of an early first round pick. We will check out as we move forward, though. Carson Palmer, 87 overall, leading the Cardinals. Now, again, the Cardinals went 5-11 last year, but that was not expected at all. They have a lot of talent on this team, and they are starting off the season right with 2 big wins early on. They're 2-0, and this is still a team that can compete for the playoffs, so we definitely are going to have to bring our A game if we would like to pick up a victory over the Cardinals, because right now they are a better team. Here is Philip Muhammad, 6'7", 88 speed out of Ole Miss, a rookie the 49ers were targeting, and he was 1 pick away from falling into the 49ers' laps. The Cardinals would snatch him up. The 49ers would instead draft Dimitri Todman. I think it's worked out okay for us so far, but Philip Muhammad is definitely a guy with a very bright future for the Cardinals here. Cardinals also boasting one of the best defenses in the NFL. Chandler Jones at left outside linebacker, middle linebacker Deion Buchanan. Now, Minter is out with an injury, so Isaiah Hills is going to be there. And then to Arias Chekwa, a rookie out of Clemson, 79 overall, 87 speed. Definitely another player worth keeping an eye on. Maxwell, Williams, Reeser, Miller going to be the corners, and Patrick Peterson looks to be out with an injury. Matthew is going to be at free safety with Tandy backing him up, and then Tony Jefferson there as well. And then we'll go find out what's going on with Patrick Peterson. That could be a blessing for the 49ers if he is going to miss the game, which it definitely looks like is going to happen. So David Johnson at running back there, also going to be the punt returner. And Peterson, is out with a broken hand. He has missed a few weeks, but he is going to miss this week as well, and then he will be returning. So a huge blow, not having Minter, not having Peterson. They could do without Foster. Obviously, you don't want to see him hurt, though. But then Patterson, a free agent acquisition for them as well, and definitely has the ability to blow the top off a defense. Another guy that's out for this game. So it's going to be an interesting one. The 49ers are on the road. It's certainly going to be a tough battle within division foes. We will have to see what happens, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch y'all later. Peace.